Shade is back, Shade is back, Shade is back. Today, I have something to discuss, and it's about AB and fun, or stuff you do in general and having fun. Because recently I saw a video about gaming not being fun anymore, and also then 762 popped that video about grinding up to 500 million and actually regretting it because he was just grinding. How does it relate to this specific video? In this specific video, I was doing a Deagle only. Deagle, armored T4, but pretty much like a 35,000-40,000 kit, and I was trying to have fun. By having fun, it doesn't mean that you just run and die. That's not fun. But if you can come up with any idea, like nades only, deagle only, you shouldn't consider them as challenges, because your brain is going to switch into sweaty mode, and we don't want that, because then you're gonna kill the fun of gaming. That's what I'm trying to do on the streams. Make it chill, make it fun. Okay? Therefore, I want to show my respect to those creators who are actually showing that on camera, like having fun. Raging Craw, Charles, iStream, and some others. We want to have fun, and not just actually within AB. By the way, this is a nice moment. I was poking around with them because my teammates died at this point, and a bunch of T6s. I think there was 3 of them, and I was poking them from left and right. You're gonna see that. Anyways, I love this game. So back to the story. You have to have fun, otherwise you're gonna burn out. And doesn't just apply to Arena Breakout only. You're gonna be constantly on the grind trying to achieve something, and then even if you achieve that, you're not gonna feel that level of satisfaction. Why not? Because you're gonna always see a video where someone is performing better, faster, more accurate, and that's gonna kill the fun. So please, next time you log into Arena Breakout, do something like I do. Like, try to be the underdog. Try to hunt people with a sniper on TV station. This guy doesn't often happen, by the way. This guy, I mean, obviously he was disconnected. Look at how many fucking shots I needed to kill this guy. This was a T6 guy, and I did a deadly mistake, by the way, because I was actually picking up the armor. Just, tunnel vision, shady T6, I need to pick it up. And, well, it wasn't. I think if I don't pick up that T6 armor, I would have had a slightly better chance to fight the guys. But I took that fucking alien with me. I killed his teammate, and if I don't pick up the armor, I think I would have even killed the last one. If I survived this, guys, that would have been a juicy, I think, a 1 million raid, or close to 1 million. Never mind. I didn't even tell that in advance, but you're gonna see 3 games, out of which we just saw the first one, in which I didn't extract because I died. In the next 2, actually, I extract, so you can consider that also as a how to make money with Deagle on TV station guide, or, something like that. But I gotta tell you that every freaking game and raid is different to a certain extent, because in this one, the one we have on stream now, I'm doing tons of PvP. This is actually pretty amazing, because I heard someone dying, I was running upstairs, and then I was pushing with my Deagle, nobody can kill me with the Deagle, which is like, I could run into T5 chats and stuff like that, but I didn't care. It was all about, the fun and the excitement. By the way, this is the operator that died, so I was quickly picking up the M4 to have something to fight with. You can approach the game like that. You don't need to risk all the stuff if you're having gear fear. And by the way, why do you have gear fear? Like, it doesn't actually matter. Look at player stats and player profiles. Nice headshot, Shady. Nice headshot. Look at the player profiles, and you're gonna see that many of your favorite creators are below 20 million storage value, including Childs, for example. The game is not just about building storage value. Obviously, that's the primary objective to survive. Also, 762 said that in his video, that if he's taking it seriously, then obviously he wants to survive. Sorry, I just wanted you to see the next headshot before I keep on yapping. So yeah, surviving is the primary objective of the game. If you keep surviving and sometimes pick up stuff, then obviously you're gonna make money, and your storage value is going to increase. But if you only play the game to fucking increase your storage value, you're gonna feel inside, no matter what happens, it's never gonna be enough, because once you hit 50 million, you're gonna go up to 100 million, and then 150 or 200 million, and it's always going to be the same. You're gonna start trying to find people who also want to grind, and at that point it's gonna become very sweaty. You're gonna feel inside that even though you have, I don't know, 49 million coin or storage value, if you lose a T5 set loadout, you're still gonna be upset. You're never gonna be satisfied. You're never gonna be happy about the game, because you are having a goal you work towards, which is not a realistic goal, because it's unachievable. You will never have enough coin where you say that, okay, the grind ended, because there's always going to be someone who has more. Like, this is the discussion many of you already saw in the comments. It's about, get yourself a job, bro, or you don't have a life, and so on. Well, I gotta tell you that I have a life. I have family, I have kids, I have a dog, I have 2 cats, I sometimes work on the house, I obviously have a wife as well, I have a job, I do YouTube, and I play lots of Arena Breakout in my free time. And sometimes, and not just Arena Breakout, doing YouTube is also, a similar thing. So you can also set your mind to be on that grind, and you're just doing it, you're just publishing content, and at one point you actually forget why you're doing that. And it's, if you forget, then it's not gonna become fun. Viewers are gonna realize that, and they're gonna say, Shady, your content is mid. It's below average. Why should I watch you if it's flat? This is what iStream is doing really well, because he's naturally having that hyped energy level. So he has pretty much an advantage. By the way, this fucking guy, I knew that there's somebody, here around us, on top of the guy who was in medical, but I had literally no clue that he's sneaking up on me. Anyways, let me remind you, this is a Deagle only run, and I already have 316,000, and I didn't even loot that T6 helmet guy. So strategy definitely works. In most of the cases, it doesn't even matter what type of loadout you wear, because if you're doing stupid things, you're gonna die in your T6 alien helmets. If you're playing it smart, then you can extract with a fortune. But I need to go back to the starting point. So why do you play Arena Breakout? Because if you just hop onto the game and then try to grind, and after you finish your session you feel exhausted, or you are mad, you are rage quitting or whatever, then think about it, bro. Because is that gonna make you happy? Like, if you look back, just like 762 just did, and he realizes that he spent more than a year, I didn't calculate it, but in actual calendar days, he spent pretty much 1 year of his life in Kamona, like 24/7 or something like that. He was saying 1,900 hours. So ask yourself, is it worth the grind? Is it so fun and so exciting that you're gonna be happy with that? And if the answer is no, then try switching to the fun mode. Try letting it go, letting it out. I also teach my son Ezekiel on how to have fun in the game. This is a story I wanted to share actually while you're watching the third one. By the way, in the third game, you saw that headshot, and that guy had his ace. I was really happy to pick up an ace because that's definitely better than a deagle. But who the fuck is running UN ammo with an ace? Lockdown TV. Who's doing that? And he had a mixed type of ammo, PS, UN, all kind of trash in his ace. So I was forced to continue with my deagle. And this game is completely different compared to the previous one. So it's not in Arena Breakout doesn't work in a way where there's just one single way or path you need to follow and you're gonna be rich. Always be mindful of what you're doing if you wanna actually, do money. But anyways, my story of my son. So first when we started back in season 1 or 2, he also started in beta, but when he actually started doing raids, he was such a Timmy, but not with his aim, with how to approach the game. He was not having fun at all. He was almost like a loot goblin styled young kid. He was actually a young kid. He was like 9 years old back then. And I slowly had to teach him like the etiquette of Arena Breakout, how you should be behaving, how you should be approaching teammates, and so on. And then he learned that. He pretty much stopped, picking up stuff from others. He stopped prioritizing loot over kills because he often died back then, like just, killing someone, running straight to that body, trying to pick up something, and then obviously he died. He changed in that. But then there was like 2 or 3 seasons where he had gear fear. He didn't want to risk too much. He was not like playing the game as you should be playing the game because he was always afraid that he's not going to build up his storage value. And that is what actually made him not achieving that. Last 2 seasons, he just fucking stopped doing that. And by now, he's having like 35-40 million with ease. He's lending stuff to his Hungarian teammates, to his friends. He's running thermals, T6. He doesn't care anymore. By the way, finally a red. I didn't find a red for 2 days or something like that. Finally a vase. Thank you, gods of Kimono, for finally giving me a vase. So he stopped doing that. Now he's running T6, AX, Thermal Scope, Forbidden Farm, Gold Duo, and he's also doing secure ops. He's also doing 4 versus 4. So it's not that he's on the grind and from now on I'm just gonna play Forbidden because I finally know how to play with thermals and I'm gonna show the world, how to kill people with thermals. No, he's not doing that. He's actually having fun with his friends because every time he plays, I hear them I hear that they are laughing, like they are laughing a lot. And that's what I'm missing. That's what I want to bring into my streams. Like, you guys don't want to spend your time on watching someone who is angry, raging all the time. I mean, that can also be fun, but there should be a nice balance and it should be more like the fun side and the positive things. Unless you're gonna, watch the stream and then end the stream because you got more angry than you were before. And you all have lives. I know you have struggles in life. We all have struggles in life. So that's why I'm trying to, make it chill and refreshing instead of like exhausting when I stream. So my idea is to come up with crazy challenges, fun stuff, things maybe endurance type of streams. I'm still getting there. I still need to switch my own mindset because streaming is new for me. I have to learn that. It's not as easy as you may think it is from the outside, being a creator, being a YouTuber, being a streamer. There's much more behind that, and not just in terms of effort and time, but also what happens in your brain. Because YouTube is also a grind. as I said, we need to remind ourselves that if we don't enjoy it and if we just do it for the content, then for fuck's sake, why are we doing that? It's, the YouTube creator dream is not as easy as it looks like. And I actually want to enjoy creating content. And I actually freaking enjoyed talking about this in this video. We are getting to the end of the third game. As you can see, I'm near to 1 million coin. Let me remind you, this is Deagle only. So regardless of what you pick up, regardless of how you play, regardless of your play style, just please promise me to get into Kimona and play a raid where you at least smile, okay? You don't need to laugh, at least smile, have fun, do something stupid, and then, get relaxed and chilled, because that's what gaming should be about, having fun. Shoot, loot, subscribe. See you in the next one, guys. Peace out. Bye.